covering all the news from every dark corner of the universe. SliceofSciFi.com.
Hey, welcome everyone to another Slice of Sci-Fi. As always, I'm Michael Armenenge.
And I'm Ben Raggington.
And I'm Megan Zier.
And I'm Sam Roberts, and we are super excited today to have Bojan Radakovic with us. He is the associate producer for Geek and Sundry's wildly popular and super cool show Tabletop, hosted by Will Wheaton, and he is also the man behind the scenes at International Tabletop Day, which you may have heard mention of here on the show. Welcome, Bo. How you doing?
Great. Hello, Internet. How are you guys doing today?
Hey, it's awesome to have you on the show. We've been talking about this tabletop thing now for a while, and it's great to have the person behind it to tell us even more about it.
I'm happy to help out. What do we got on the slate for today?
Well, I tell you, I think right off the bat, I know we've been talking about it a lot on this show, but let's get it from the man himself. Tell us what Tabletop Day is, why this is important, and why everybody should get on board and do it.
Sure. Okay, so last year we created a show called Tabletop, and it was wildly popular. And the fan support and connection has been amazing. And what we wanted to do is for Tabletop's first birthdays to give back in a really special way. And so, what better than a giant party? And, we're gamers, so of course we're going to hang out and play board games on a birthday party. So that's essentially what it is. International Tabletop Day is a day where we ask all of our fans to go out to their favorite local game store, community center, or just play at home and just play more games. That's all it is, really. It's an international gaming holiday.
I like that, International Gaming Holiday. So I was mentioning to you earlier, and when I first heard about this, I was bummed because I'm traveling to Europe soon, and I'm going to be on an airplane on the official International Tabletop Day here, but that doesn't mean I can't participate, right?
That's right. So Tabletop Day is March 30th this year. It's a Saturday, but it really depends on where you are relative to other people playing Tabletop Day, right? So I'm here in LA, and pretty much 2 p.m. Pacific time is already Australian Saturday, right? So because they're from the future. So
right.
Guys in New Zealand and Australia, Japan, Singapore, all those guys are going to be playing on Friday. So if you're traveling on Saturday, that's okay. Just grab some games and start playing on Friday. Or if you're super busy on Saturday, people in Hawaii and Alaska, they don't even get Tabletop Day until the end of the day. So it's pretty much Sunday, right? So any day that weekend is probably good for you guys.
So it's the worldwide. So somewhere in the world, it's Tabletop Day. I get it.
That's right.
I like it.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm going to make it even easier for you guys. We are working with NASA to get these events in even cooler places. There's a couple oceanic research stations that want to participate.
Wow.
So they're going to be way out, way out where Cthulhu is. So that's going to be awesome. And then we're trying, I just talked to Bobak Brodowski. He's
NASA, yeah.
He's a Curiosity. Yeah, he's a
Mohawk
Curiosities. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, NASA Mohawk guy. We were at South by Southwest together, and I was like, I really want to do an event in Antarctica. Can we do an event in Antarctica? And he's like, I think we can. And so we're going to try to get one there on the 7th or 6th continent, I guess, depending on how you count. And it's going to be awesome because Antarctica is in every time zone. So think about that. You could be playing Tabletop Day anytime that weekend.
Mind-blowing.
And yeah, I know. And trying to push it a little bit further. So if you can think about the NASA connection and where else I can put this thing, you might know. You might know what the next step.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we haven't announced it, and
I haven't heard anything.
It hasn't been finalized.
I know nothing.
How epic would that be, man? International Tabletop Day is like intergalactic Tabletop Day.
Intergalactic! I love that.
There's something kind of appropriate about International Tabletop Day being played on the International Space Station. I mean, please.
Truly.
How is that? It's obvious.
So obviously,
right. So, this is the international event, right? We want the whole world to participate, and that's the thing that we learned about tabletop, that it's not just us. That really, when you look at our demographics and the analytics, really only half of our views come from America. The rest is the world. So
that's great.
Wow.
We want to give back. We want to make sure that everyone participates. So if you go to tabletopday.com, you can check out our event map, our interactive map, and it has currently 2,000 events in the system. We're in 50 of 50 states in the U.S. and over 50 countries worldwide, and it's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome, guys. The response has been great, and I can't wait for International Tabletop Day. I think it's going to be amazing.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit. I mean, I knew you guys knew you had something here with Tabletop, because Tabletop has been just an incredibly popular show. But did you ever think this was really going to get this huge? Because, I mean, it's amazing the response that you're getting on this Tabletop Day thing.
I'm trying not to be afraid of the success, right? I understand that there actually is a movement, like things are happening, and I really feel like we're on like a board game renaissance, that tabletop has ushered in like a whole new generation of gamers out there, and I'm just trying to push this as far as I possibly can before the fire dies down. And tabletop's been wonderful, and I'm just trying to take it to the next level. So Tabletop Day is supposed to, so with tabletop, there's like, all these people are like, oh, I love tabletop games. What do I do now? Like, where do I find friends? Like, am I the only one? Like, where can I go and play? And that's what Tabletop does. Tabletop Day does, is it lets you find other people just like you. And you can find the community center, the game store for our subculture, or a comic book shop, or your local library or coffee shop, wherever gamers hang out and play games. We're going to list them, and then you can find each other. And how awesome is that? We're just trying to empower the fans so that they can find each other and, rekindle their gaming group.
That's incredible. Growing up, I always got together with my friends and we played board games. Now I got a question here. You mentioned that, we've been all witness to this, that there has been this incredible renaissance of board games. Now, I'm curious, what was the motivation to put tabletop the show together? I mean, what made you say this might be a great idea to put out there on the web? Let's go ahead and do it. I mean, what was the spark that got you going in that direction?
Well, last year Google wanted to create this unique premium YouTube channel, which basically creative content created specifically for YouTube, sort of like the way Hulu and Amazon and those guys do. And they approached Felicia Day, and they said, you're wildly popular with the guild. Will you produce something for us? And so she took a bucket full of cash and went to all of her friends and said, what would you do if you had a show on my network? And Will Wheaton said, I would hang out and play games with my friends. And that's how it started. But Will and I have been really passionate about tabletop gaming essentially our whole lives. Like, we've been playing forever. And, we're in the same gaming group and we hang out and stuff. And when Felicia approached Will, he said, can we do this? And, I have a lot of industry experience as a game designer, and, I used to be the marketing director for one of these major distributors. So I knew all the designers, publishers, and I was kind of already an industry player. So with all those connections, and a lot of drive and passion, we came together and made it happen. And, it's like, I know it's like tabletop would have been amazing without me, but I'm just really fortunate to have been there when lightning hit. That's where it came from.
I got to say, I just love the show. I was introduced to it last year. I saw one that it was some sort of a railroad type game that Will had with Colin Ferguson and a few other people, and I watched that and I was immediately hooked. But the other thing that I really love about this is that
Ticket to Ride episode.
I love Ticket to Ride.
Yeah, that was such. For one, it was funny because you've got these total loons around the table. But what I think is great is that you're introducing these games, both new and somewhat. I don't know if classic's the right word for it, but games that have been around for a while that maybe people don't know about. And now you have this great medium to actually put them out there and to share them with all these people. And for us, at home to say, wow, that looks like a great game. Maybe, something to do on a family night. I mean, I think you're providing a service as far as I'm concerned.
Truly.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is like, that's the connection that people feel when they play board games, is like when they're together, they want to spend time together and share a common story. They want to collaborate on a common goal, or they want to compete against each other, depending on their relationships, And that is the story that people tell and remember. Like, we don't play games for the game itself. We play games to be with our friends and our families. Mm-hmm. So that's the connection we're searching for. So Tabletop provides a really deep connection, and that's why the fans love it.
So I don't know if you remember, what was that? Was it an IFC show or something that Jon Favreau used to host at Dinner for Five? Or
Yeah.
Right. This Tabletop reminds me of sort of a geek version of that, because you have all these people, like most of them are either famous in the geek world or known or whatever, and you get to see them interact with each other in a fun social environment. And so in addition to learning about games and finding ones that I want to play that maybe I haven't experienced before, I learn about the people and their senses of humors and how they interact with each other. So it's a whole another level of fun for me too. Was that intentional?
Yeah, that's exactly the format. We actually pitched it that way as Dinner for Five meets Celebrity Poker, where it's not about the game. It's not about the game. It's about the people coming together. It's like our regular game night. Like we hang out. It's about us spending time together and having fun, joking, and telling stories and like bonding, being together.
Well, that's good. I feel less guilty now, because when I watched that first one last year, I felt kind of bad that, while I was interested in the game, I was more fascinated in the personalities, especially with Will. I've been a longtime fan of Will Wheaton, and I love Colin from his work on Eureka. So to be able to see them as themselves interacting with each other was really the joy for me, and I kind of felt bad, like they're trying to pitch this game and I'm more interested in them. But if what you're saying is true, then I guess I have no reason to feel bad. That's the secret of Tabletop. It's not about the game, right? And so there are a lot of copycat shows out there, and in fact NBC Universal is putting one out, I think called Game Night, where wait for it, celebrities hang out and play board games. Gee, what a novel idea.
I wonder who thought of that.
I know. It's amazing, yeah. And in fact, at the time when they put the press release out, we were, Geek and Sundry was still in the NBC Universal building. Ooh. And so the press release came from our building, and I was like, what?
Awkward.
And, a little bit awkward, especially since I would walk up the elevator. I walked up the elevator. I use the elevator every day, with my board games and stuff, and I would, and so people would see me every day, hanging out, playing games, talking about games, doing stuff, whatever, and then, several months later, it's like, lo and behold, hey, we're on the cutting edge and, doing all this stuff. But I think it's good. This whole movement that NBC's involved, great. That it's just going to make this even bigger. It's going to make our community bigger. It's going to make it more accessible to the masses, which is wonderful. You see this on Big Bang Theory as well. Yeah. So Bill Prady, the showrunner from Big Bang Theory, was a guest on Tabletop Season 1. And, he played in the Elder Sign episode, which is a great Cthulhu-based game. And he took that game and he put it on the show. So if you look in one of the episodes, in Sheldon's room back there, he's got Elder Sign, and they've done an episode with Settlers of Catan, where they ran the Wood for Sheep joke for about 27 minutes straight, and it's really funny. And Sheldon's a board game designer. I mean, we're influencing. We're all part of the same movement, right? And so Tabletop, Big Bang Theory, we're all on this pushing this geek cool edge. It's making gaming much more mainstream. And we're tearing down the barriers between digital games and, traditional tabletop games. And now it's not an or, it's an and. You can do both.
Absolutely.
Like, why not play both? It's like, yeah, great. You're into Halo? Cool. Well, we can still play board games together, Like,
sometimes at the same time.
So I think... right, exactly. And there's a different connection, there's a different experience that you have when you're playing video games. Personally, I like I like playing as like a LAN party. We're all kind of hanging out together and talking and, eating and joking and all that kind of stuff. It's fun. I don't like online competitive play. It just seems sort of strange and foreign. And with board games, shared storytelling, like role-playing games and stuff, you're all sharing in one common experience, and it's awesome. It's absolutely you, and it's unique to your group of friends, and that's the thing that you share and talk about, and I love it. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm super passionate about it.
and I think that's a great place. Let's take a quick break really quick, and I'd love to come back and dive in a little bit deeper about the social of this, because it is a social thing that we're seeing, and it's a renaissance that's really coming around on how we game, why we game, and where it's going.
Oh, 29. Hey everybody! We here at Geek and Sundry are completely blown away by your response to Tabletop. It has been an amazing year, and we wanted to figure out a way for you guys to take the experience of the show into your own lives. That is why I am here to declare March 30th International Tabletop Day. It is a day for you to go to your favorite local game shop, your community center, or coffee shop, host a game day yourself at your house, and just play games all day. In order for Tabletop Day to be super awesome, I need you to do 3 things. Number 1, go to tabletopday.com and sign up for an event. We're going to launch with a whole bunch of places to go. We're going to be adding more each week, and it's international. So no excuses, Bulgaria, Greenland, Lithuania, why are they all Baltic countries? I don't know. Number 2, if you don't find an event near you, make one yourself. Whether it's just in your home, you convince a local coffee shop to host one, or I don't know, you just turn a gymnasium into a giant chessboard. Your imagination is the limit. It's up to you to make something cool. And number 3, share your stories with us. Hashtag your posts, your pictures, your videos, all with hashtag Tabletop Day. It will help spread word. It will also help us find what you're doing so we can share it with our community. You know what? You should do it right now. I want you to post, I'm playing on hashtag Tabletop Day. You know what's gonna happen? Your friends are gonna go, what is this? And you're gonna go, hey, it's this cool thing. And they're gonna go, that sounds awesome, I'm coming over. And you're gonna go, yeah, but you're gonna bring cookies. See what happens? And you guys are not in this alone. We are gonna be live streaming our own Tabletop Day event right here on Geek and Sundry for you guys to watch. We're gonna be playing games. We are going to be eating junk food. I'm gonna invite Will over. He's probably gonna lose. I'm gonna laugh because I love it. So go to tabletopday.com for more info and to keep up on the event. I am so super excited, you guys, to make this thing happen with you together. I will see you on March 30th. Bye. Oh, 28. It's a weird die.
SliceofSciFi.com.
All right, and after this, so there you go. There's more information on International Tabletop Game Day. Table game. Good grief. I can't talk today. So we're talking with Brian still. Boyan, sorry. And I have to ask, I mean, we got into this a little bit before the break, but you were talking about video gaming and the fact that they're trying to build the social interaction with video gaming. LAN parties, yes, I see that because everybody's in the same room playing together, but really it's playing online with headsets and over the online through a chat room or through a chat bar. It's just not the same as being around.
There's no real interaction with other people.
There's no real interaction with the people. And I see that so much where people really want to get back and start connecting with each other again. Don't you find that to be the same, true, and why this is so popular?
I think that's part of it. I really don't want people to believe that this is video games versus tabletop games. It's not true.
No.
Right?
No.
We're all gamers, right? And I say this all the time, where like don't believe it's like marketing hype that's trying to like put you into a segment so they can like hit you with like specific ads or whatever. Like we're way more similar than we're different. You know, you call yourself a first-person shooter, great. I'm a European-style board game player, great. You think we're different, but in reality, when we hang out, we eat the same foods because common language. We have a common subculture. We understand Star Wars. We watch the same shows. We read the same comics and everything. So it's like, you know, I don't believe in the dichotomy. I think it's false, first off. But is it a different type of experience? Yes. I definitely believe that tabletop gaming provides for a much deeper connection. And especially if you're a family and you want to spend more time with like kids, and you want to have a good excuse to just spend time with your sweetie, board games is awesome. It's a great way to hang out and spend time together, and you actually get to practice a lot of skills. There's a lot of cognitive benefits to it: resource management, planning, strategy. It's a great anxiolytic. It basically removes stress. Sometimes if it's a really high tension game, it can like make for excitement. It's full of entertainment and like great brain benefits, so it's awesome. But that's not why people play. People play for the connection.
Right.
They love spending time together, smiling, making jokes, like accidentally spilling beer on the table or knocking over the pieces. Like that's just as much part of game night as playing a game, winning by 5 points or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I recommend it. Like, parents out there, spend time playing tabletop games with your kids. It doesn't have to be a weird thing. They probably know a game that that some of their friends play at school, and if not, watch Tabletop. You can check out the games right there. We show you how to play the game. You don't have to feel embarrassed about not knowing how to play. Just watch, learn. You're basically like the fifth player. And you know why it's fun, you know why it's cool, and you can pick the games that are appropriate for your kids. And there's plenty of games out there that, they say they're 12 and up, but you can play them with 8 up. And even some of the if you play with the modified rules, you can play much lower than that, as long as the pieces are like language independent, like without text or that kind of stuff. It's just shapes and colors. Even like kids all the way down to 5 can figure that out. So great way to spend time together. And the age limit is just, they don't believe it, right? Everyone can play games. People say, I don't like board games. It's like, you don't like board games. It's like saying I don't like music. Of course you don't like music. You don't know what type of music you like. And maybe you've only heard a certain type before, and you have like a preconceived notion of what music is. But it's not true, man. There's like a lot of awesome stuff out there, and there's so much cool indie stuff out there with all these, great game designers doing stuff that they love. There's a lot of great publishers, both like domestically and internationally. A lot of the best games and board games actually are coming from Germany and France, and they're being translated into English, and it's awesome. That's why I love this international feel, and we're all bonded together by this common subculture of gaming. I think it's awesome.
I agree, and I mean, I think to your point that a lot of people don't realize what board gaming is, because they've got this idea of old classic board gaming.
Monopoly.
They got Monopoly, they got Sorry, they've got the Game of Life.
That's the best game. Don't even start.
It is.
Yeah, but the classics are great. Don't get me wrong. I love the classics. The Monopoly's been around forever for a reason.
But it's a certain kind of experience, right? And so people may not understand the broad.
How
the breadth of what's available out there.
The different card games out there.
Yeah.
I mean, lunch money and beer money
Flux.
and Flux. Oh, good grief, Flux. Zombie cards.
Yeah. Well, you know
exactly. That's what International Tabletop Day is for, right? It's for gamers to invite their Muggle friends to and it's normal. It's like, look, guys, I know you don't game, but for International Tabletop Day, look on Twitter. #Tabletop Day is like blowing up all over the place. Go online, see all these people posting pictures and video. Everyone's playing games. Go to the website. You can see there's thousands of events worldwide. Everyone's doing this. At that point, there's no stigma attached to it.
And
right?
sometimes I find I'm successful in bribing my friends with snacks and drinks.
Right.
If they're,
oh, hell yeah.
If they're reticent.
You might even want to start with that.
Oh, yeah.
You might be like, hey, we're having cake. You want to come on over? Or we're playing board games.
Any board game can be turned into a drinking game also. I mean, I advise people do it responsibly, but nonetheless.
It's absolutely true.
One thing that
well, there's so many different kinds of games out there too. I mean, I got my group that were absolute non-gamers hooked on Redneck Game of Life, just because it's so off color and it's so funny and it's just so hilarious. It's so fun. I love that game.
Yeah. So if they like American style comedies like that, they might like other games like Munchkin or Killer Bunnies.
I love Killer Bunnies.
I love Killer Bunnies.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the thing. Hopefully we expose people with these introductory games. That's basically what tabletop is, right? We play games like Ticket to Ride, Settlers of Catan, Alhambra. These are all great ways into board games. And then once you're in, you're like, oh, interesting. This is really cool. And then you ask the players, what about Settlers do you like? And they're like, oh, I like the resource management part, or like this like economics thing. You're like, oh, cool. Then why don't we play Lords of Waterdeep or Puerto Rico or Agricola or something like that? And you can get them moving in that direction. Or they're like, oh, I love the trading. I was like, okay, well, let's try another trading game. You know, like Traders of Genoa or whatever.
Absolutely.
Or they just like spending time together. You know, it's like,
Absolutely.
okay, well then, you know, so that's how you test it out. And for International Tabletop Day, you should be inclusive, right? If someone comes and says, I love Monopoly, you're like, great, I think you're going to love Settlers of Catan.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, if someone comes in, it's like, all I know is Scrabble. Like, we should play Bananagrams. It's going to be awesome.
Yep.
You know,
absolutely.
like, get them into these new games, and then once they sit down, they're like, wow, man, games are so much better now. Like, they're faster, they're more fun, they're higher production value, they're like widely available. I mean, they're so good. Like in every way, they're awesome. And so they just need a little bit extra exposure. That's what we're trying to do with Tabletop. And with International Tabletop Day, we're trying to, you know, expose the world to this and get people hanging out and playing games together.
Absolutely. So let's let everybody know where to go one more time for International Tabletop Day.
That's tabletop.
Yeah, it's easy. So you can do it for me. I love it.
Okay, I got it all written down. It's tabletop.com. It is International Tabletop Day. You can hashtag it on Twitter, which is hashtag Tabletop Day. And, of course, it is at Tabletop Day if you want to get them on Twitter.
Absolutely.
That's right. Yeah. So your probably single best resource is our website, tabletopday.com. Okay. You go there and you can check out our interactive map. It shows all the events that are listed worldwide. If you don't see one near you, that's cool. Just submit one. Hang out, like all you guys, actually. You know, like you're in Phoenix, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, there's a bunch of great stores there in Phoenix. There's a lot of clubs. You have a lot of great conventions. You know, it's awesome. So go play more games, guys.
Absolutely. Right. We are going to.
Thank you so much, Bo.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. That's going to do it for this show. Thanks, everyone. Bye.